Well, good afternoon. Tell us your name and the career that you are pursuing or have pursued.
Hi, Chris. My name is Patty Brubaker. I have two careers. One is I am a senior branch office administrator for Edward Jones Investments. I have done that full time since 2018. Started my career with Edward Jones as an on call, otherwise known as a substitute that goes into offices and helps out when the regular um, office administrator isn't there. So I started that in 2009, and then I became part time in an office in 2014.
That's one career. You said you had two.
I am also a township trustee, which is an elected position. I was elected back in 2010, so I've done it for a few days. It is a 24-hour 365-day um, position. You're you're on call whenever. It doesn't matter, holiday
Since,
or no holiday.
since we're going to talk about two careers, we have to talk double as fast.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk really fast now. I'm just
Okay.
joking. So on the investment side,
Yeah.
you're dealing with money, right? So this must be a very lucrative salary. Am I right?
Oh, don't I wish? Don't I wish, friend? I make a decent wage. Yes, I do. Um, Lucrative. Eh. I am not a licensed financial advisor, so there's where the money lies. You
Yeah.
know.
So, what type of person would want to pursue a job like that in the first place? Like,
Uh,
what kind
uh,
of personality or education even do you need to be successful in that world?
Actually, there is. You are trained. It's on the job training. It's 6 month training. Every office is pretty much run the exact same way. So I can go from my office in Oberlin, Ohio, to one in Amherst, Ohio, or Wellington, Ohio, and be able to jump right in and not have a problem. Tweaking, each financial advisor does things a little bit different, but on the whole, all the procedures are always exactly the same.
Wow, that's really nice. It gives you flexibility if you want to make a physical location change. That's really nice.
Exactly, exactly.
Did
Yeah.
you have to have an education in certain type of certification or anything prior to taking that job? Wow, that's fantastic. You have to be good at what you are doing in high school, and then can you get straight into a position like this?
Absolutely, but absolutely. You go on the Edward Jones website, you look for positions that are available, and if it's something that strikes your fancy and within your realm of expertise or even in your general location, absolutely.
Well, what kind of things would you do every day? Like,
Um, I am, we'll make it real simple. I am a glorified secretary.
okay, so what do you do? What does that mean?
I answer phones, I greet clients, um, I do a variety of things. But I don't want to say the one thing that I pride myself on, but
Why not?
I love my clients. They're like family to me. So when someone loses a family member, you sit there with them and you hold their hand and you love on them. And yeah, it's gratifying, but it's also emotionally taxing at times. So
Right,
you
you're
need to be a
attached.
strong person. Yeah, yeah.
Now, that to some people who maybe aren't yet in the workforce might look at that as customer service. And customer service in America gets kind of a bad rap because it's
It
a
does.
difficult, like some people group that in with retail. Can you explain to us just a little bit how this is different than, say, a retail job customer service? Because I think your clientele is very steady, I would think. Um,
Yes,
can
yes.
you just explain to them how that's a different type of customer service?
Yeah. Mine is office based. I do not walk around in a store at all, seeking out, can I help you do this? Can I help you do that? Mine is strictly office based. I sit in a chair for probably 7.5 hours a day, if truth be told. But yeah, it's a lot of phone based. Um, we try to keep it to 4 to 5 clients a day, um, for appointments. We work by appointment base only. We prefer not to have the walk-ins because of the confidentiality. We want whoever's in the office to feel confident that no one else is hearing. So we try to keep
You
our
doing, do you do any sort of sales or anything like that
no,
in that
no,
job?
no, absolutely none. That is all on the financial advisor. That is
Really?
all his, yeah, that is all his responsibility. He's the one that's got those licenses. So it's up to him to take care of all of that. I'll generate the paperwork for the clients to sign, stuff like that. But yeah, no, when it comes to that kind of work, that is strictly up to him or her, whoever.
It sounds like to be successful in that job, you have to be good at personal skills, but you also sound like you need to be very detail oriented and precise in your
Absolutely.
work.
Absolutely. Extremely detail oriented, and you've got to have people skills. You have no people skills, this is not your position.
Now, say you get in
So,
there and you really, really love it. Can you make a career out of this job?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, in most financial realm now, um, obviously you can take the schooling and become um, a registered financial advisor. And now, especially with Edward Jones, they have what they call registered branch office administrators. So you do get your Series 7 license. You can do some things that the financial advisor could do, um, but not the full blown.
Oh,
So there
how
is
hard is
some
that to get that? What did you just call it?
uh,
I've already forgotten what you called it.
uh,
The
RBA,
certification.
registered branch office.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, how
Uh,
much time does it take to achieve that level,
um, to be perfectly
roughly?
honest,
Months?
I'm not quite sure because that is just not something I'm interested in. I'm close to the retirement end of it. So those people coming in, um, in their 20s and 30s, go for that registered. But I'm way past that. So
Very good. Now, I would like to talk about your other career a little bit.
okay,
You were elected to this
yes,
position,
yes,
which
ma'am.
to achieve that takes a tremendous amount of work and time and probably money. How in the world, say, someone is interested in pursuing an elected position, what would be your advice to them?
Think long and hard on it
Why is that?
because your life is not your own anymore.
Okay, tell us about that. It
At
looks like
any
glory. It looks like glory from the outside. Fame and power.
and it's not. Um, it is at times very grueling. At times, I have, I call it a staff, but I have some full-time employees, and periodically you have to terminate them for whatever reason. And if they've been around a while, they've become friends, and that's difficult. So you want to think long and hard on becoming an elected official. Um, you are in the public's view all the time. They will reach out to you at any hour, day or night, because their problem is crucial to them, whether it really is or not. Um, it is to them. And you need to say, you know, I will do the best I can for you. You never, ever promise them that you can fix anything because you can't, So, um, like I said, it's an elected position. I run every 4 years. So I will need to get my petition sometime mid to late May, and then get my signatures and have it turned in by the 1st of August, and we'll see what November brings.
So that process varies depending on the position you're seeking, and depending on where in the country, it could vary yet again.
Mhm.
Um, but you mustn't dislike it too much if you're ready to think about putting your petition together already.
Um, it can be at this point, and I've said it all along, and I will continue to say it. Once it becomes too much for me, I will resign, whether it's midterm or not. Um, so yeah, I do enjoy. Most times, I do enjoy it. Um, and there are absolutely, just like with any position, there are times that not a happy camper. Don't want to
Well,
apply.
that's true in any job, really, truly. Um,
Yeah.
so what kind of person runs for an office? Who, I think you need to be cut from a different cloth kind of to be able to handle that life. What type of personality is best to consider this, or maybe shy away from pursuing a life like this?
Excuse me. If your feelings get hurt easily, this is not the job for you.
Good advice.
Um, yeah. If you can't take the verbal cut downs, the verbal lashing outs, this is not your position. Um, you got to have some broad shoulders and let things roll off your back. You do the best you can with the tools that you're given and you just go from there. Um, Elected position is not for everybody.
So, what is your educational background, Patty?
I have a high school diploma. That's it.
And you are living still in the area where you grew up.
I am. I am.
So it's a very dear place to you. I can see pursuing an elected position in a situation like this because it's a very important place to you. And others, maybe who are watching this video, who are from very large places or very rural places, may have that deep desire also to serve. And I think that's what you need, right? You have to have a love
Absolutely.
for your
Yeah. Absolutely. You
area.
want to be able to serve your community and serve your community well, you
So,
know.
what would be your
Um,
advice for someone who really wants to do that? They think they've got the thick skin to handle it and the determination to make a difference. What would be your advice for them? How should they prepare? How can you prepare for a job like that?
uh, I, and this is what I did,
Yeah.
only because of a series of circumstances within the township that I just felt that, let's say, I felt the need to be attending every meeting.
Oh,
And I did that oh yeah, I did that for over 2 years. So I had a good grounding um, on what was going on, when I was elected. So
yeah, that
I
is a
would,
great idea because you're already familiar with the issues and the people involved already, and that is a great place to start. That's excellent advice.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
any other words of wisdom for the young people out there that might be searching for where they might plug in for their life?
Um, oh golly. Um, Follow your heart, follow your dreams. Um, it's never too soon to start thinking, even while you're still in high school, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? Yes, there are teachers and nurses and that, but oh golly, we need the skilled laborers, the plumbers, the contractors, the electricians. Never discount those skills. Um, if you choose to go into the public arena to become an elected official, you know, always understand that it's not easy, but it really is rewarding. So that's
Patty, thank you
that's
so much for your time and for your service to your community and for being part of this Rotary Club. We're just really thankful to have you as part of us. Are you willing to take any calls, not calls, but communications from people that might see this video on our website?
absolutely. I would be happy to do that.
You would be a
Absolutely.
wonderful role model for many. So thank you so much for your time today. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Chris. Good to see you. Good to chat with you today.
Likewise, we should do it more often. Bye bye.
Absolutely. Bye bye.